So let's switch now to what I mentioned a moment ago about perception and retention. The whole notion of perception, it is a function of the brain, and it's one of the things that operates in the conscious state. And that is that everything that comes to us comes in through our five senses. And our sensory system inside our body, which directs all of the input that's in our environment, including our thoughts in our internal environment, gets to the brain. And when it gets to the upper brain, it starts to think about it and perceive it. Perception is a function of, it's kind of like a filter. Things that are in the lower brain that are automated and things that are in the middle brain associated with emotion and feeling kind of act as two stages or filters through which new information will come as it heads towards the upper brain, where you apply some thought and innovation to it. Here's the thing. You are what you perceive. We are what we think, sort of thing. But as the information comes in through the lower brain, it kind of does a safety check. Is it safe? Is it okay to proceed? If yes, moves up to the middle brain. Do we feel good about this? Do we want to add this to memory and learn it? Yes, it feels good, it's positive. Goes to the upper brain. And now you've already had two perceptions based on what's part of your habits and your beliefs and your values, which are resident in the lower and the middle brain. So, in other words, what arrives in your thought is what you perceive it to be, not necessarily what it really actually is. That's why you can ask people to look at something and say, what do you see? And two people will have two different perceptions of what actually happened. Who's right? They both are. Because perception is reality to the perceiver, and that's the critical thing. Now here's some interesting notes about perception that may interest you as you consider what actually arrives in and how it gets there. And this has to do with some of the functions of the upper brain. Let's look at reception first. In other words, the information that comes through your five senses arrives in different amounts, if you will, in your being. About 75% of all of the information that arrives into you that you can receive comes in through the eyes. That's a huge amount. That doesn't mean to say that 75% of the population are all visual people and prefer. It just means that your eyes take in a whole lot of information and represent what you're looking at, what you're perceiving in a huge way. Secondly, about 13% of the information that arrives in your brain gets there through your ears. Right? You know, it's what you hear. So what you see and what you hear accounts for a huge percentage of what's actually in there. The remaining 12%, these numbers can be flexed a little bit, but it is a combination of information arriving in the three other senses: taste, touch, and smell. That doesn't mean that we don't associate any meaning or value to taste, touch, and smell. We do. It has a lot of emotional connection. However, these numbers do account for a lot of the huge dominance in what goes on in our external environment by way of sensory distribution through things like various communications media, all of which are based on audio and visual, and hence the term audiovisual. I mean, the internet is a good example. It is a visual medium which has associated things to hear and see. There's no taste, touch, or smell associated with it. It's because, you know, there's something like 85+% of information is associated with what we receive through the eyes and ears that accounts for that huge dominance in that. However, what you receive is not necessarily what you retain. And retention is the most important thing in terms of learning, because regardless of what we receive through our sensory input, what's important, what matters is what we retain and use. So let's take a look at some interesting numbers in that regard. And by the way, I'm talking, these numbers are if you don't have any physical impairment, like you can see well and you can hear well, there's nothing wrong with your sense of touch and so on. But in terms of retention, or what you actually retain from what has been received, 10% of what you hear, so of that huge amount that came in through the ears, we only retain about 10% of it. So we have this huge dominance of people loving to talk and loving to hear words and associate meaning and so on. The words themselves don't account for very much at all. 60% of what we see is retained, so that's important. And then here's the real interesting one: 90% of what we do is retained strongly. And that kind of gives to the old adage that you learn by doing, you learn by experiencing, you learn by engaging in something in a lifelike manner. Now that's important because now it starts to play on what is our style for how we retain information that we have received. So it's important that you associate what you retain with how you retain it.